Everyone says just find a problem and solve it, but nobody really talks about how you actually how it actually looks like in practice. What it feels like when you are sitting down and you're trying to think some idea, but nothing comes to the mind. In this video, I want to share exactly how I'm approaching this. Internet makes it look easy. Someone has idea, builds it, and then makes money. What you don't see is the weeks and months before it, where nothing is clear. And I think specifically for engineers, I think this is actually harder than for the most people. We're trained to find the optimal solution, but business ideas, they don't exactly work like engineering problems. There isn't like really a single correct answer for this. No formula that actually gives you the right output. And that makes it genuinely uncomfortable when you are used to just work with clear data and clear constraints. The first thing I did have to accept that finding ideas isn't just like calculating, it's an exploration, and exploration is kind of messy by definition. That said, I didn't want to just sit down and find the inspiration. So I've been using few frameworks to structure the search. Let me share what actually have been useful. Framework 1: interest, skills, and the market. The first one is kind of similar. You draw the three circles: what I am good at, what I am interested in, and what people actually pay for. The idea lives somewhere in the middle. For example, for me, that is intersection in energy systems, technology, and education. What is actually quite specific, and that specificity is useful. The framework 2 is problem first. The second framework is the problem first. Instead of thinking what I can build, you ask what really frustrates people in my field, or what frustrates people usually. I've been talking to other engineers and recent graduates, and the same frustration keep coming up. The gap between university and real working life. Not knowing how to translate skills into income. Not understanding how business and money actually works. They are real problems, and they are personally same problems that I myself have. That is usually a good sign. Framework 3 is start with what you already know. The third one is the most simpler one. Don't look for the brand new idea. Look what you already know and other people don't know. For example, as I am an engineer in energy and environmental technique, I understand things about energy systems, sustainability, and technical problem solving that most people building online systems don't. That knowledge can be actually asset. The real question is how to package it that it is useful to someone else. So in practice, here are some ideas I've been exploring. I want to be honest about this because most people just show the idea they end up with, not the ones they considered or rejected. Option 1: educational content and digital products. I think I think this is most obvious one if you think about this channel. Great guides, templates or courses for students or people in general. The problem I've been thinking about is nobody taught us how to actually navigate between university and real life. Could that be product? Maybe. But I want to validate that actually people need it before building anything. Option 2 is niche consulting or freelancing. For example, using my engineering background to help smaller companies or startups with energy or sustainability questions. This is kind of faster to start, like there's like no product needed, but it trades time for money directly, which works in short time but it doesn't scale it. But I still want to explore, does this make sense as a starting point? The option 3, the intersection between AI and energy. I think this is most interesting for me personally. AI is transforming energy systems right now, and there aren't that many people who understand both sides. What that looks like in business, I genuinely don't know, and I think my skills aren't yet in that level, but the intersection feels worth exploring seriously. Here's what I actually learned going through this, not just reading it. First, the idea you start off with is almost never the idea you end up with. Talking to people actually changes everything. Every conversation what did I have with other engineers or recent graduated has shifted my thinking slightly. That's not actually a problem, that is progress. Second, waiting for the perfect idea is just procrastination with better excuse. At some point you have to pick a direction and just move. Even if it's wrong. Because wrong and moving still teaches you more than just right and waiting. Third, this channel itself is part of figuring out. Every video I do make tells me a little bit what does people actually care about. The comments, the views, the likes, which concept resonate the most. That is actually real market research. Just done publicly, not just privately. So, where does that leave me right now? Honestly, I'm still exploring. But I am more focused right now than I was a month ago. The direction that feels most authentic is something at intersection of, of engineering knowledge, education, and future of energy and technology. What that looks like exactly, I keep figuring out and documenting the journey. If you are going through something similar, try to find the direction. I hope this was useful, not because I have the answer, but because sometimes it helps to know that someone else is at the same process. Next video I wanna go deeper in one specific direction and start testing it is actually a viable choice. That is where it actually gets interesting.